because self-care can be so performative.
It can, and it's been so commodified and
Yeah.
by capitalist systems.
What's the point of practicing that self-care of, for example, going to like that Pilates class, but the 60 minutes that you're on your mat, you're belittling yourself, you're talking shit about like how your body looks, about like you're not doing enough. That's not self-care. I was sending you
Testing.
a voice message earlier today, and I was like, my voice.
I didn't get to listen. The one in the car? No,
Yeah.
I was in the car, so I didn't get to listen.
Oh, I said, oh, that was me like feeling so proud of myself for practicing some boundaries with myself last night.
Oh, yay!
Yeah.
Very good. On what?
On alcohol intake.
Hell yeah.
Yeah.
Hell yeah. We've been talking about that for a minute.
I know, yeah. So this morning I didn't feel so terrible.
Good. I'm so glad.
Yeah. So it was
Very
nice.
good.
But then as I was like about to like report that and spoke, I was like, and then I was like,
I have not spoken yet today.
right. I was like, "Whoop, let's warm up the voice." And I told you on my voice message, okay, I'm gonna go sing. Bye-bye.
Wait, I love that so much. That's what I was doing in the car.
Yeah. Proceeded to sing some Dua Lipa.
Incredible.
Yeah.
Incredible.
Some Adele in there as well.
Ooh, good ones. Good. I have been obsessed with Demi Lovato's new album, actually.
Oh.
I love it so much because I feel like she's been kind of like wandering for a few albums trying to figure out the sound of it all.
Okay.
And now it's full like Charlie XCX meets Ariana Grande.
Okay.
Yeah, it's fun. It's very like dance, like boom, 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 boom.
Oh, that's
Very
fun.
fun.
I
Very
need to
fun.
listen.
It's good. I was gonna recommend it to you actually.
Nice.
I love it so much. It's so much fun.
Yay, that's the Girls Gone Real recommendation of the podcast.
The new It's Not That Deep by Demi Lovato. Love it.
Nice.
Very fun. Very fun.
Fun. Ah,
I love it. Welcome.
Oh.
I was about to say, no, I was just thinking about dancing, and I was like, that's what I was doing last night in my, because Awesome was out, and I was getting ready for a party, and I was just like pre-gaming by myself, and just dancing around to the album, just like, it felt so good. That's like, it's an act of self-care to myself, actually.
Totally. Look at us self-caring, dancing it
Self-caring,
out,
singing it out,
not over poisoning myself with alcohol.
These are all good things.
Yes.
All good things.
We're doing good over here.
We're doing real good.
We got a cat.
Great. We do. We have a cat today. We have our mascot, Doug.
Yeah.
Here with us. His tail's kind of in my space, so sorry if I'm not perfectly centered. I'm trying to respect the cat.
Personal space.
Personal space.
Yeah.
Give me personal space.
So welcome to another edition of Girls Gone Real.
Welcome. Episode 8.
Nope.
9. Nope.
Nope.
10. I'm like, that's because episode 7 just aired. And I'm like,
we'll get the hang of this eventually.
Like, wait. I cannot. Wait, no, this is 9. This is 9 because 10 is something else. And then we also have 11 and 12.
You're right.
So it is 9.
Right, exactly. There we
Welcome
go.
to episode 9, and where we learn how to count. This is real. This is me. I'm in the Demi Lovato headspace.
I was like, wow, you did that.
I'm crying.
Besides Demi Lovato, do you have anything in your mind these days?
You ask this because you know. No, yes, I do have a story that it's just been on my mind. This has nothing to do with the episode topic, so just strap in for a little story, a little sidebar. Okay. Graphic content ahead. So I've been friends with this girl through TikTok. Just like randomly commented on her thing one day. She started watching my stuff. We were like messaging on TikTok, very similar kind of backgrounds, like deconstruction. She's kind of going through like a spiritual awakening thing. She was showing up really strongly, like really showing up and sharing her story and like dancing on, like being a very like embodied version of herself, which I just loved. I was like, you go girl. Um, we exchanged numbers at one point over the summer. Um, texting back and forth as she was going through some big life changes, and we were like, we gotta coordinate like a FaceTime call. So like all fall, we've been meaning to coordinate a FaceTime call. A couple days ago, I start getting weird comments, like responses to my comments on her videos. Random people saying things like, oof, this didn't age well, or like, ooh, how do you feel now? And I'm like, what do you mean, how do I feel now? So I'm going through the comments, like trying to figure out what the hell's going on. She hasn't posted in like a week, which is weird for her.
Okay.
I see a screenshot of a article title. This girl, bless her heart, she's probably going through something real bad, but she fully murdered somebody.
What?
Yes, fully had a break and like murdered an old man in front of the child she was nannying.
No.
Yeah. And then all of these people on TikTok were like, so how do you feel? Like, are you okay? You need to like make sure that you're discerning who you're speaking to. And I'm like, I don't know what these people are doing or experiencing behind the scenes. And so now I'm just like reading this article and I'm like, this person that I've been friends with for like almost a full year now, I'm like, out
Whoa.
of nowhere. I'm like, how does that just happen? And she's like avoiding all of her court dates and her cell. I'm like, oh my
Oh
gosh, honey bunny.
no.
I know, very strange. But it was like just 2 days ago, I was just laying in bed watching TV and I'm starting to read this. I'm like, what the hell? Just very
Whoa.
interesting after like our episode about social media and all of the things we've been talking about with like embodiment and imposter syndrome and like all of these things just started roiling in my head and I'm like, you really don't know what's going on behind the scenes of people who are showing up online in a certain
Wow.
way. Yeah,
That is
no idea.
spooky.
Very spooky. And this was Halloween weekend that I found this out.
Right.
It was actually what was it, Halloween? No, it was the night before Halloween.
Whew.
Oh my gosh, wackadoodle wild.
Wow. I have so many questions. I also don't know if they're appropriate for
I mean, lay them on me.
okay, so so like is the adult the parent of the child she was
It was the
babysitting?
grandfather.
Oh,
I know.
did the was he doing something bad?
That was not released. I should
Um,
say allegedly. She hasn't been to court, so this is all alleged at this
okay,
point.
alleged,
But this is all
yeah.
alleged. There was a lot of details though for it to be
Oh,
alleged. I was like, wow. It was a People magazine article. Like it wasn't just like a
wow.
local news. I was like, yo,
Whoa.
yeah.
Whoa.
Very unfortunate.
Yikes. I mean, I also kind of like want to know how, but do I want to know how?
You can ask if you want to know. It was a screwdriver.
Okay, that's it. I'm
We're
done.
We're done. It was a very insane thing for me to discover on a random night in the midst of October. I was like,
Yikes.
anyway, so that's going on my two truths and a lie. Friends with alleged murderer.
Whoa, that's a really solid
Two truths and a lie, right?
Yeah.
I'm telling you, I have a note in my phone that I've started.
Oh, that's so
Random
smart.
things that I.
Yeah, because you need to have different kinds. Like
Mhm.
during the summer that I was working
Mhm.
with the kiddos at a music program, I was like,
How do I?
I play the violin.
Yay.
Is that a true word?
Is that true or false? So
This one's
funny.
like way cooler though.
It's something. I don't know if cool is the word I would use to describe it, but shocking perhaps.
Yeah, it gets a reaction for sure.
Anyway, that's me being real about what's on my mind lately because it has just over the past few days, all of a sudden it'll just like ping in my mind. I'm like, oh my god. But I think it's just kind of a testament as well to like you really don't know what's going on behind the scenes of some people's lives and like
Yeah.
whether the way that they're showing up online is a true embodiment of who they are. And I feel like to me that was very much like a call to be like, number one, trusting my gut, because I did have like a few gut things like about her and things, just like knowing some of what things she shared, like choices that was being made and like things that was going on. I'm like, whew, okay, that is not how I would choose to live my life, but that's okay. That's all right. This is her journey. And God, it really was her journey.
What a journey.
Yeah, I guess she's going to be busy for a while. I'm not going to be able to do a FaceTime.
Yeah, it doesn't sound like it.
But it was also kind of a reminder that making sure that we're taking care of ourselves is really, really important.
Yeah.
Really, really important.
Oh, for sure. Because if we don't, then we act out.
Yeah. Yeah. And sometimes it can be real dramatic. And
Yeah.
sometimes it can just be like lashing out or like not showing up for yourself in a way that's important.
Right.
And that can have lasting effects,
Mm-hmm. Yep.
apparently.
Yeah, very lasting.
Very lasting. Oh my
Yikes,
goodness.
that makes my hangriness not feel as bad.
It's like I can handle this. I can self-regulate through this.
Yeah, but
Oh,
that's like, even though it's silly, it's like such a good example of
yeah.
like, if you don't take care of yourself and nurture your body and
Mm-hmm.
mind and soul,
Yeah.
you're gonna see the results, either if it's like talking at someone in a rude way because you
Mm-hmm.
just needed some food in your belly,
Mm-hmm.
or murdering your a
Oh,
grandpa.
Grandpa, maybe let's not though. I'm
Yeah, not
urging you to
us.
not murder
Not
anyone.
us.
Oh, Grandpa, maybe let's not though. I'm
Yeah, not
urging you to
us.
not murder
Not
anyone.
us. Girls gone. Real girls don't murder grandpas.
Real girls. I'm screaming. I'm crying. Oh my gosh. No, that actually hit so hard because this morning I got real hangry and then I stood up and I'm stomping into the kitchen. I'm like, I'm hungry and I'm grumpy. I need food right now.
Mm-hmm.
And so then I found food to eat immediately that I didn't have to make, which was really good and important.
Nice.
I'm like, "Oh, I don't want to stand here and make this.
I know.
But it was only because I neglected my hunger cues for way too long.
Which is such a
So tricky.
it's so tricky, such a typical experience of like trying to get better at self-care, because very often we are conditioned to ignore what we need
Totally.
and what would make us feel better because it's
Mhm.
inconvenient.
Yeah.
Sometimes because it's inaccessible.
Mhm.
Sometimes because we get in our own minds and thinking that like we don't, ugh, the amount of times I'll get trapped in my head of like not allowing myself to eat until I finish this.
Oof.
Like, okay,
Yeah.
I'll just like finish 3 more notes and then I can have dinner. It's like,
Oh.
no, girly pop,
You're
have
feeling
dinner, then your brain is actually gonna work better.
Yeah. I forget that. I feel so much better after I've had some water. Oh my gosh, water too. This morning, literally, this morning, I'm like sitting in the chair and I'm like, I just finished eating, but I'm like, I still don't feel good. I'm like, did I drink water yet today? It's like 12:30 p.m. Like I did not yet drink water.
No.
Having to do those things.
Yeah.
Oh, you just forget.
You just forget. And at the same time, like those things that are so quote unquote basic that are not basic at all,
Mm-hmm.
in my opinion, are like some of the hardest parts of self-care. Like,
Yeah.
because
Yeah.
I'm like, yes and no. I mean, like, I in terms of the impact that they have,
Mm-hmm.
it's very often what goes out, like the what's the
Like the
saying?
first thing that goes out the window. Yeah.
Exactly. Yeah. Which has been such a hack for me to start counting this. It's actually called functional self-care.
Okay.
Yeah. As like real self-care that counts. So like when we think functional is like the things that you need to function,
Yeah.
like eating and sleeping and drinking water and things like that. That
Yeah.
it's also when we get so hung up in that like productivity culture of like go 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 go, you need to write 3 more notes before you can have dinner,
Yeah.
or you need to like do this in order to serve dad.
Mm-hmm.
We start limiting ourselves, thinking that we need to be like tough and push through.
Oh my God, yes. That is such a message that is so prevalent. Like, wow, I don't know how you do it all. Like, oh, I don't. I don't know. I only slept like 3 hours last night, or like I haven't eaten anything all day, and like it's almost like this badge of honor that some people wear. And I've worn that a couple times and being like, yeah, I'm doing this on 3 hours of sleep. And people are like, wow, that's amazing. And you're like, you get like the little baby dopamine hit of like being praised, and then also that does nothing because your entire body is shutting down because you haven't taken care of it. It's like that's not a badge of honor that I am interested in wearing anymore.
Yeah.
No, thank you.
Ah.
No, because yeah, those little things like the making sure you get 3 meals a day, the keeping the house clean to a point where it's like you feel good, even like showering and like getting enough sleep. Those things, they're all things that I know that there's a lot of like conditioning that I experience specifically that make those things harder for me. Like there was a lot of, if you have free time, it must be spent with the family type thing.
Mm,
So when Austin's home and I'm not home alone, I'm just like, I can't do anything because I have to spend the time like there with him. And
mm,
that's not a thing. That's
yeah,
actually not a thing.
right.
So there's like that little bit of, I notice like when I am alone, I'm like more apt to spend the time and be like, okay, well now I can go do this thing because I'm not like missing anything. And it's
Mm,
like such a time investment, it feels like to me. But I'm like, why am I not investing this time into myself? Like
right.
my body and myself. This is the one relationship I'm gonna have for my entire life. Like
Yes. Oh, that's so real. And
yeah.
okay, you just said something that really clicks for me in terms of the difference between self care and self love
Mm,
and how they go hand in hand, but they're not the same. And I
mm-hmm.
feel like it's almost like different practices that we have to develop.
Yeah.
And when you talk about the relationship to yourself, that's more of what I've been trying to focus on of self
Mm.
care, not being necessarily like this checklist of things that you do,
Mm.
but how you relate to yourself.
Mm. As self-care is that?
I mean, that's more self-love,
Okay, okay.
but I've been trying to add that layer of self-love into my definition of self-care.
I see. I like that a lot.
Yeah, so
Yeah.
it's
Because it goes hands in hand. It's like
exactly
showing up for yourself and performing, interesting word that I just chose, performing self-care or like doing
right.
the acts of self-care, um, is like as you do that, that is like self-love because it is you showing up for yourself in a way that matters
Exactly.
instead of it just being this thing that like, oh, I have to do this.
Right.
Hmm.
And no, perform is such a good word because self-care can be so performative.
It can, and it's been so commodified and
Yeah.
by capitalist systems like, oh, self-care, like bubble baths and face masks, and here's an entire beauty industry, and are you working out enough, and are you eating only whole foods, and here's all the things that you need in order to, what vitamins are you getting? Are you getting the most expensive vitamins? Like, let me do a slam poetry about it because there's so many freaking things that they're just like punching down your throat so that
Yeah.
you can perform as taken care of. And how
Mhm.
many times do we see someone like at the grocery store in like hair disheveled, hoodie, slides on, and like you have that little flash of judgment almost in a way, like they don't take care of themselves now, do
Mm.
they? Like, why did you show up like this? Me to myself when I'm like, I just need to run to the store real quick. Why do
Mm.
I feel the need to put on earrings and like mascara before I go? It's become something that I enjoy doing at the beginning of the day to set myself up and like embody the me that I want to be that day. But it's
Yeah.
like we've been so conditioned to believe that a certain style or look of somebody or performance is
Mhm.
someone who is taking care of themselves. And it's like, it's more than that.
Right.
It's more than that.
Exactly.
Hmm.
Yeah, and that's where it can become like empty if we just focus on the action and the performance. And there's
Yeah.
actually studies that show that practicing self-care alone without the layers of self-compassion and self-love, but like
Hmm.
focusing especially on the self-compassion aspect of it,
Mm.
it's empty. Like it
Yeah.
doesn't really
Yeah.
fulfill the purpose. Because what's the point in practicing that self-care of, for example, going to like that Pilates class or that
Hmm.
yoga class, but the 60 minutes that you're on your mat, you're belittling yourself, you're talking shit
Mm.
about like how your body looks, about like
Yeah.
you're not doing enough, like why am I so tired, why am I not doing this, like
Yeah.
if you're just creating all this cortisol
Yeah.
internally in how you're talking to yourself, like that's not self-care.
No.
Like that's like 60 minutes of quote unquote self-care that were just
Hmm.
performative. That it's more about
Yeah.
like putting your cute Lululemon outfit
Hmm.
and checking a box.
Yeah. Yeah. You can put on a cute little outfit and it be a fun thing that like makes you feel alive and good and like helps you ground into the situation without it being like the thing,
Right.
without it being part of a performance. Ugh. So much performance in the self care of it all.
Mm-hmm.
I'm okay. So I want to hear more about our defining the difference between self care and self love. So it sounds like to me, self care is kind of like the acts that we do to actually care for. Here's what I'm actually hearing is self-care feels like the things that we physically do to care for our physical selves, like those acts of like the time that we put in, whereas self-love is like why we like ground into the self-care, like why the self-care matters. Like the love can be the inner relationship with ourselves, and then the care is the physical acts that are showing up to maintain health,
Yeah.
aliveness.
Yeah.
I don't know. That's kind of what I'm hearing
Yeah.
or
That
wondering.
that feels that I align with
Mm-hmm.
that.
Yeah.
Yeah. Yeah. I'm no dictionary, but
I'm such a dictionary girly. I'm like, let me have a definition real
yeah.
quick.
And as I'm hearing what you're saying, I'm also noticing the worth piece of it coming from me,
Yeah.
especially when we think about self-love, and self-love being, yeah, like the level of value and worth that you give to yourself and
Yeah.
your relationship with yourself. um and it's something that, yes, it's also an ongoing relationship, but there's also
Mm-hmm.
like a piece of just like it's not as I'm gonna words. I'm like trying to like, well, multiple things can be truth at the same time,
Yeah.
you know, because part of me is like, this is something that is like shifting and moving, and it's relational and it's ongoing.
Yeah.
And at the same time, if we were to like put self-care and self-worth at like a spectrum or like a
Mm-hmm.
more binary thing, like I would say that the self-care is like the more like moving and ongoing thing, again,
Mm-hmm.
based on like it's more behavioral and based on your actions,
Yeah.
versus like self-worth is something that is like this, like I don't know, like, and I'm thinking it
I
like, you know,
know.
I'm
It
coming
lives
to my
inside your
solar plexus, my
confidence
sense of,
center.
exactly, my
Yeah.
sense of confidence and self-worth,
Yeah.
and it's just something that lives there, and it's like a
Yeah.
kernel of that love and acceptance and compassion that
Mm-hmm.
lives there, and that regardless of how I
Mm.
behave or how I quote unquote perform or what I'm doing,
Mm-hmm.
it's always going to be there.
Yeah.
Even when I'm not being the best at practicing self-care,
Yeah.
that self-worth can still be
Mm-hmm.
there.
Yeah.
It does start getting like a little like sad and smaller if you're not like acting,
Yeah.
you know, taking aligned action in that way. But
Yeah.
yeah, I don't know. That's kind of also what it came to my
Resonating.
mind.
I like that. I like that also, like we're pulling in the gut. Something that I find myself saying a lot in aura readings is self-trust is one of the strongest forms of self-love that we can offer ourselves.
Yes.
Yeah. And like really connecting, because I think that's part of like what you're hitting on with this like sense of self-worth and connecting to that feeling of worthiness of taking the time to do the things that make you feel good, that make you feel cared for. I think there's something about like reparenting in here
Mm-hmm.
as well, of
Yeah.
like reminding, like reconnecting with that sense of worth that comes just from ourselves, from our intuition, from our relationship with like our soul and also our body,
Mm-hmm.
and connecting with what makes us feel nourished and nurtured, and giving ourselves grace for those things, like even if we aren't showing up and doing the acts of self-care that like feel like they matter, like even just noticing that, and like that, noticing that you're taking the time to like maybe rest instead of doing things and being productive, like having those conversations with yourself in a gentle way. Like I'm rambling a little bit,
Yes.
but
No,
yeah,
I
the reparenting just kind of like popped
totally.
into my mind.
Yeah, no, and as you say that, it really also aligns with. I've been fascinated lately by internal family systems,
Yeah,
IFS,
IFS is.
parts work.
Mm-hmm.
If you don't know what I'm talking about, go read about it. But just
What
like
has
the
been like
Sparks notes.
what has been like catching your attention the most?
Well, this idea that there are so many different parts of us
Yeah.
that have different needs, have different messages for us, serve different purposes,
Yeah.
protect us in different ways. Um, and that also ties with the reparenting piece, and to your point of self-trust, a concept that I've been thinking also about for myself and also with my therapy clients,
Mm-hmm.
is the idea of self-leadership. That is also so
Yeah.
tied with self-trust, and it's
Yeah.
going back to like some IFS tenets and theories, is that very often there's parts of you that are running the show out of a place of stress and trauma responses.
Yes.
Like they're either trying to like manage everything or like put out the fires.
Totally.
And when we allow those parts of us to run the show, we are not often the most integrated and aligned.
Yeah.
And when we like our like true deep self is able to show up a little bit more each time and tell those managers and firefighters like, hey, can you let me take a turn here and deal with this situation in a way that I think it's best? Like, trust me, I'm not a 5-year-old anymore. I think I got us this time. And that's also, you know, the more that you're able to take those aligned actions, the more you start trusting yourself, and the more self-leadership you have, the more you're guiding from that place of integrity and alignment instead of from reactiveness.
Yeah.
And self-care can be so helpful in increasing that sense of self-trust and self-leadership, because it's like, okay, if I'm committed to caring for my physical body by eating a little bit healthier, and then you actually go and eat a little bit healthier, yourself is going to be like, oh, look at you, girl. Look at you go. Nice.
So true.
You know, so then the next time that we're like, okay, I'm going to do this, those parts within you are like, okay, let me see. I trust you. Go do it.
Go do it.
Instead of other parts being like, no. I'm gonna take care of it, or I'm gonna do it, or like, you're worthless. You're a piece of shit, and that never follows through.
Yep. Yes. So important to like have to let those different parts of yourselves like come out, because I think we were talking about with like self-doubt and self-doubt and something else. I don't know. Something about maybe it was shame. Shame, self-doubt, all of these things that like to take the reins because they're trying to protect us.
Yeah.
And remembering that like as we lean into that self-trust, as we like let our bodies share whatever messages or they're trying to share with us, and we let that filter through and we don't let it overwhelm us, and we get to know ourselves. That's the thing. I think that's why people love things like astrology and like psychology and like the Myers-Briggs personality and the Enneagram, because people just want to know themselves.
Yeah.
Like we really just want to have a better understanding of who we are and what it is we want and what is important to us. And I think all of those tools can be lovely tools to help us get closer to that. But I think at the end of the day, it really does come down to what you're saying, like cultivating that relationship with yourself where you can fully like listen, like sit with yourself, like not need someone else or another external source to validate whatever it is that's coming up.
Right.
Yeah. And being able to like carry yourself and lead yourself through your life.
Literally. And then I also want to point out like the other side of the coin, because I was naming like the action and the doing and like following through with action, but also like not doing the thing can also be something that helps you develop that self-leadership and trust.
Yeah.
Because rest is care.
Rest is care. Rest is care.
Yeah.
And also even in the moments where maybe it's not rest, but maybe it is procrastination. Maybe it is a little bit of, I just don't want to. Maybe we still learn something instead of like getting it. Cause that's something I do often is like, maybe I'm intentionally resting, or maybe I'm like noticing like my body needs to stop for a second, and I'm like, but I have to. As the thoughts of like, oh, you're so lazy, or like, oh, you're failing again, or like, oh, you're not showing up for yourself, like noticing it, but not letting that become the narrative.
Yeah.
Not letting that become the authority, and reminding myself like, okay, I'm noticing that like getting this project or whatever it is done is important to me. I can commit to getting that done as I'm ready to, but I'm also noticing that my body is tired. My body is asking to lay down for 15 minutes. I need a glass of water. I need to eat right now. Whatever it is that it's asking for, and like letting those parts talk to each other instead of yell over each other.
Yeah.
Like it always helps me to see things as like a little story, like with little characters.
Yeah.
I'm just like, all right, we all just, like you said with parts, the parts theory and everything, like all these little parts just talk to each other.
Exactly. And I mean, like, the movie Inside Out,
Yeah.
especially the second one, does such an amazing job at showing that idea of like parts. And to your point, like, it's not like like frantic yelling at each other, fight, like the parts fighting to get control, but it's like, no, hello.
Hey,
Let's
I'm
make
noticing.
space. Yeah. No, but what you're naming, it's just so real that the internal dialogue is going to be so conflicting with everything. Like, it's, you know, because, like, yes, as we're leaning to resting more as a form of self-care and liberation. More to said about that. It's, what do you say, like, as we're trying to settle one voice that tells you, like, I don't know, like, you should do this or that, then you get other voices that are like, you're lazy, you're this, you're that. Then it's, you know, as we're trying to work on self-worth and self-care, we also may be feeling like our sense of love and belonging relationally to other people is being threatened by us taking care of ourselves individually.
100%. I resonate so hard. I feel like that's exactly like how I said earlier, how I was conditioned. It's like, I remember as a kid, like, if I was to take too long of a shower, like, there was something to say about it, you know? Like, and I had to explain. We lived with my grandfather for a little bit. Like, he was like a army man, like, very by the book. Like, my uncles growing up all had like specific amounts of time that they were allowed to like be in the shower, things like that. And so when he suddenly had 3 girls living in the house who have very long hair, and we would all need to take longer showers to shampoo and condition, all the things, he was always in such a tizzy about it. And it was very interesting to watch my dad, who in the earlier part of my life was very similar, but then now that his father was implementing it on us, he like rose to our defense and was very much like, I think it was a catalyst for him being like, you know what, it does actually just take them longer to shower. I'm gonna like fight for my girls' right to to take the time that we needed. Because just like experiences like that, and I'm sure we've all had, maybe not that exact one, but things like that, we learn in very quiet ways that like our self-care is not as important as what other people need from us. And as like showing up, I was very much taught like, God is first, others are second, I am third. And I think a lot of us learn that message, maybe not insofar as that exact layout, but like, I think very many of us, especially women, are very much taught to put the needs of other people before ourselves.
100%.
And then our needs start to feel insignificant and unimportant, and like we could be using that energy to do something bigger, or I don't know. More important, in quotes.
Right, exactly. Because that's so real. And that even brings me back to like attachment patterns you know, early caregiving relationships, and how you are loved and taken care of, and the worth that is assigned to you as a human by, you know, sometimes not by direct words, but like by actions around you, or like lack of action around you. It really forms such a, like, it forms the ground for how you develop that relationship with yourself through your whole life, unfortunately. Not that we're doomed, it can be changed.
That's what this is all about, noticing the patterns that exist and determining whether, using that self-trust and that self-leadership to determine whether that pattern is something that serves you moving forward or not, and how we can repurpose it.
Right. Because like, going back to like, your examples of like, if your early childhood experiences teach you that you need to perform certain tasks then in order to deserve rest, in order to deserve love or acceptance, it's going to be so hard to then rest as an adult without feeling like you have to prove yourself.
Absolutely. I've been feeling that so much lately, honestly, because my job situation is so different now. Like, I'm working so many nights rather than days. So then during the day, I have all of this time. And my very first instinct every day is to make a list of all the things that I should get done around the house, or all the things that I should do in order to be labeled as a productive day. And I'm
Yeah.
like, no. And then I'll find myself like, no, I actually just kind of want to have a slow morning, or like, I'm actually just going to like lay here and watch Harry Potter for a little bit while I do a little craft.
Yes.
And those are the things that like bring me so much like peace and like joy. And then I find myself like going into the kitchen and seeing the dishes in the sink and being like, damn it, you're bad at being human. And it's not true. It's not true. And I'm getting a lot better of talking to those parts of myself that pop up and want to say those things. But ooh, it's a real practice.
It is.
And that's part of the self-love, I think, is like letting yourself practice with finding what feels good and then dealing with the parts of yourself that don't want it to feel good.
Right.
Mm-hmm.
Yeah.
Or have a hard time acknowledging that it feels good, perhaps.
Exactly.
Mm-hmm.
Yeah. And it's such a slippery slope that now also part of me wants to like point out to the other side of, because
That's so real.
Existential.
All right, point to the other side.
Because part of, we're naming about like how it's so much harder to rest and slow down and do nothing, and that we have to get so much better at doing that.
Yes.
And that we're not lazy for resting and slowing down, even though society and culture very often makes us think that.
Yeah.
And at the same time, I've learned, especially as defined by Dr. Pooja Lakshmi, who talks about real self-care, and she talks about one of the tenets of real self-care, meaning boundaries.
Yeah.
And that's, not only the boundaries with other people, as like, no, I'm not going to give you more of my time and energy because I need it for myself, but also the boundaries with yourself.
Yeah.
Like even what I started the episode today saying, like, for me, being able to practice that boundary of I'm only going to have certain amount of alcoholic drinks, even if they're available, even if, like, being able to hold that standard for myself, it's actually making me feel so good today.
Good.
Especially because that's something that I've been struggling with lately, of like setting those limits and boundaries for myself. Nothing, I'm not talking shit on getting wasted. Like,
no.
You do you, girly pop.
If it's not hitting in your body and you're noticing that and wanting to make a change for it, like that's when the boundaries come in. That's when
exactly.
Yeah.
Yeah.
Ooh, I've actually just been thinking about setting the boundaries as well, both with myself and with others. As I went home last weekend.
Oh yeah.
And it was going home is always a very complicated experience for me. But I recognized this time I was noticing in myself, like, hello, you're watching my podcast where I speak out about the patriarchy and evangelicalism and all these things. I'm very passionate about speaking up and speaking out. And I was noticing as I'm sitting there in the arena, because that's how it feels with the whole 12 of us just sitting in the kitchen around the table staring at each other. As certain topics are being brought up, I started noticing in myself like this resistance, being like, is speaking up and out and starting this debate, is that actually embodying and being the fullness of myself in a way that is supportive both to myself and my family? How many times have I had these conversations with them? How has it gone? As I'm listening to the rhetoric that's being used in the tones of voices, is this a time where speaking up and out is going to be a positive experience for anyone here?
Yeah.
Myself, number one. And that's what I was feeling. I was feeling the whole time just so much discomfort. And in the moment, like setting the boundary with myself of like, you're not a bad activist. You're not a bad eldest daughter if you don't engage in this right here, right now. Doesn't mean you're not going to show up another time. But like being able to honor that like discord in myself of like, I'm like clenching my fists as I'm talking about it, because it was really like this, like, it was so hard to be quiet, but also like my body knew that was what it, like, I needed, and that was what the situation needed right then.
Yeah.
And even like as I was saying, like, hey, I don't know if it's necessary for me to keep going in this conversation, and people being like, oh, we were just talking, and me being like, being able to continue to honor like that No, it's actually okay to like show up differently in a way that
Yeah.
is taking care of and protecting, setting a boundary, yes, with others, but I also set that boundary with myself in that moment, being
Right.
like, I'm going to feel better. I'm going to be okay. I don't have to put myself on blast in front of my whole
Yeah.
family right now. I don't have to
Ay,
be the martyr.
yeah. That's so real.
Yeah.
Oof. And
Very different kind of boundary, but like,
right, no, but yeah. And I'm gonna be so real with you, even as you're like saying that, I'm like noticing in myself, I'm like, I have a hard time with that because I always wanna be
I
the
want to
I
so
want to
bad.
speak up. I want to say the things so bad. I want
So
to
badly.
I was gonna say, I wanna create discomfort.
I do. I really do. And here's the thing, I do. And I have for the last one of the things that like blows my mind to this day is like I spent so much of my life trying so hard to be the quote good girl, to be the perfect eldest daughter, to be the one
Yeah.
like who's showing up exactly as I was taught to. And my dad still calls me the rebel
Mm.
because for the last 10ish years I've been showing up in that house and speaking my fucking mind and
Yeah.
saying exactly what it is I've thought, and it has been very painful. It has
Right.
been very painful. And I think now that I'm at a point where it's like ev- I'm noticing the pattern, and it's like now I'm noticing there's the choice. So it's a choice of like I can show up exactly as I want to and then have to deal with the discomfort and the pain that comes with that.
Mm-hmm.
Or I can remember that I've shown up so authentically in the house for the last 10 years.
Yeah.
No one's gonna, at no point is anyone gonna think that I support Donald Trump. Like, that, I don't have to say it out loud every fucking time.
Right.
Like, I've made it very clear who I am and what my intentions are and what I believe in, and I can let that be enough. I don't have to
Hmm.
show up and cause myself pain and discomfort because I'm at a place now where I'm like, I'd like to have a relationship with my family.
Yeah.
I'd like to be able to show up and be and have a good time.
Mm-hmm.
And I'm noticing and realizing that's going to require some surrender. And
Yeah.
that's going to require some boundaries with myself and gentle boundaries. I'm also learning like setting boundaries with other people as well can be a lot more gentle
Right.
than I think it has to be because I like to make it very
Mm-hmm.
clear. I like to make it very obvious. So went off on a bit of a tangent there, but
No, but
yeah,
yeah, that all connects. And okay, so this is also making me think of this idea that we don't have to be the perfect activists. We
yeah,
don't have to always be leading that rebellion.
yes, and even just the concept of perfectionism in general
Exactly.
with self care,
Right.
with like as we were talking about like reclaiming this relationship with ourselves and like showing up for ourselves more strongly and more authentically, it's very very easy to tip over into the perfectionism and then look at yourself and being like, I didn't brush my teeth before I went to sleep last night, I'm the worst. Or like, oh, I didn't say what I wanted to say in front of my dad, I'm a bad activist. Or like there's so
Right.
many ways where we can immediately start tipping over, and that's when it's like, oh, we have to really come back to that self-love, because love includes forgiveness,
Mm-hmm.
love includes patience.
Mm-hmm.
I don't want to say unfortunately, but there is a principle in Christianity called the fruits of the spirit
Hmm.
that I actually really like these things where if you feed into them and you adapt them as values, that like your spirit will feel whole and connected to God and all these things. But I really actually like them. They are love,
Mm-hmm.
joy, peace, patience, kindness, goodness, faithfulness, and self-control. And I'm like, that's those are good ones.
Those are good
I can
ones.
accept those.
Yeah.
I can accept those. And like remembering that like all of those things, like practicing all of those things, like we're meant to practice the fruits of the spirit. They're things that you need to practice for yourself.
Right.
Like not just for everybody else. These are not just things to be embodying and sharing with everyone else, but like giving yourself love, giving yourself peace and patience, being
Yeah.
kind to
Mm-hmm.
yourself, like self-control as an act of self-love.
Exactly.
That's what a boundary is,
Right.
right? So
Yeah. Mm.
Yeah.
Okay, I'm not gonna go on this whole other tangent because basically, like,
Okay, but you could though.
well,
You have a
just
little mic.
we do, and we have free will.
We do.
I'm just thinking, even when you're naming the juxtaposition of not aligning and believing in Christianity the way that it was imposed to you, and also being able to recognize that there's a lot of good stuff on paper. Which also, my tangent is like, as you're naming those things, I'm like, well, yeah, also like the 10 Commandments show up in a very similar way in yoga philosophy with the 5 yamas and the 5 niyamas.
Interesting.
Yeah.
There's a lot of interesting theories about Jesus and yoga. But anyway, I won't go there. We'll go there another time. That could be actually a fun episode.
That would be so
Jesus
interesting.
and yoga.
I'm sure he was a yogi.
Batman. Yeah.
Yeah.
Crying.
But I want to like also bring it, I guess not back, but like out to also the systemic lens of all of this.
Please do.
Yeah, because I mean, and we've already named perfectionism as a trait of white supremacy.
Yes.
And as we're naming also this balance between, again, I was going to say being the perfect activist. Again, what does that even mean? That's no such thing.
Something that we've cultivated in our minds based on others' expectations.
Yeah.
What we think will get us belonging.
Right.
Mm-hmm.
Yeah. But I also want to name that here in 2025 on our nice little comfy couch, we're not inventing any of this.
No.
Which I know that we're not saying that we are. But, I was like,
just the messengers.
Exactly. Yeah. And there's been messengers for so long, even like in the 1980s. Audre Lorde was talking about it, and I'm gonna read her quote: "Caring for myself is not self-indulgence. It is self-preservation, and that is an act of political warfare."
Absolutely. Oh, I love that. Self-preservation is an act of political warfare.
Yes.
Whew, that feels so important right now.
Right.
So important right now, as like there's so much fucking shit going on. Like,
yeah. Exactly. And that is, as you're naming that moment with your family, this quote came just to my mind. So I'm like, we may think that having like political warfare in that moment would be to what's the same with your heels?
Dig your heels.
Dig your heels.
Digging them in. Like when you're getting pulled, you're digging them in.
Exactly.
Like,
and like,
your ground.
doubling down with what you're thinking, but also in that moment, maybe the political warfare that you're talking about is actually that self-preservation of saying, I am trying to keep some sort of sense of love and belonging with these people, and I'm trying to also preserve my energy.
Yeah.
Because engaging in those conversations is really exhausting in ways that maybe if it's taking the energy away from what actually matters, and you actually being able to pour into the world in a different way, then what's the point?
Exactly.
Yeah.
That is tasty.
Yeah. And like Bell Hooks talks about love and disconnection. Have you heard of the Nap Ministry? Tricia Hersey.
That sounds so familiar. Yes.
Yeah.
Wait.
People go check out
I love
the Nap Ministry. It's again such an empowering concept and idea of reclaiming rest as power and agency and liberation and transformation.
Yeah.
And just like how systemically we're stuck in such a trap of being fed that message that we're not enough, not doing enough, so we're trying to prove ourselves, but emulating, like working within the system of patriarchy and white supremacy in the ways that like trap us in like, okay, having to be perfect or having to do this, having to do that, in a way that it's not really what's gonna shift us the way that we want to.
Yes, 100%. No, I know we've talked about purity culture before, but it feels like very relevant here, because I feel like when we do talk about showing up for ourselves and showing ourselves love, a lot of times the examples that we've had set before us are like literal saints, like the people that are upheld and revered and promoted and made idols and heroes, these are people who often are pouring out so much of themselves,
Mm.
and they are being revered and promoted and encouraged for things that have nothing to do with their relationship with self. So we forget sometimes that that's even a laudable thing,
Yeah.
you know? So sometimes I think there's like, it comes up back to a lot of self validation, like, and community, like finding people
Mm-hmm.
like you and me, like finding people in your community who's like, you can do little celebrations with and be like, guess what? Like the voice memo you sent me, even though I didn't get to listen to it. Just being able to be like, hey, I was able to uphold this boundary with myself would be like amazing. You know, I've been seeing a lot of as I've just turned 30, I have a lot of people in my community like in the 30s era. And I'm seeing so many people like doing really meaningful celebrations and not like these big, you can celebrate however you want. But what I've just been noticing is like there's a lot of really intentional community gatherings where they're celebrating like the core of that person
Hmm.
rather than like all of the things they've accomplished
Yeah.
and just celebrating who they are. And I'm like, that's what we need more
That's
of,
really
just
sweet.
more for our community, more for ourselves, celebrating
Yeah.
the little things, because that's what life's about. We're
Yeah.
not all going to publish Harry Potter. Like, we're not all going to go on the Eras tour. We're not all going to become the president. Like, sometimes just getting to celebrate the little things that make you you, like,
Yeah.
that's what life's about.
Mm-hmm.
That's
Totally.
what love is.
Yeah. Wait, I have such a random, silly self love practice I did
I
this morning
love.
while getting ready for this. This is gonna
Okay.
sound so stupid, but no, it's not stupid. It's real. Because, like, um, I'm a sucker for jewelry, and
Uh
I'm
huh.
like always, you know,
Decked out.
yeah.
You inspire me.
Thank you. And today I chose to wear this pearl necklace that I
Mm-hmm.
rarely wear because it feels just like, oh, I don't know, like a little too like stuffy and dress
Mm.
up or fancy for like the styles that I usually go with
Mm-hmm.
for. But then I was like, and then I noticed myself like judging my like just like being judging. Like I'm like, oh, but then I'm wearing these earrings that are like literal like White Claw can what's this called,
Little
like,
tabs.
yeah, like
Yeah.
tabs, like with
Hand
like my
tabs.
nice little pearl, like that's like
It's
I
fun.
thank you, but I my initial thought was like judging
Hmm.
and being like that's weird or like somebody's gonna think, and like I was able to stop myself so quickly and then have a moment of like celebration of like, no, look at your cool sense of style,
I
girl.
love it. Yes,
Yeah.
yes. I love that. We need that. We need
Yeah.
more. Okay, I like that you said a little self love practice. Do you have any other like practices or things that you catch yourself doing regularly to like boost your inner sense of self love?
Hmm. I this is gonna sound so vain, but like I do love to like catch myself in the mirror and tell myself how hot I look.
That's amazing because that's exactly what I was going to say. No, literally, like I have such a thing about like being caught taking pictures of myself. I don't want anybody to know I'm taking a picture, but I've been trying to just do it a little bit more. Like last night when I was at the
Yeah.
party, I looked, I'm like, this is an incredible mirror for selfies. Immediately in the midst of many people, weird people, I just whip out my phone and I just start like taking a little video, and it felt so good. So I was like, I
Yeah.
look great. I love this. This is so fun.
Exactly. Yeah. And I've been doing it specifically also with clothes because that's also
Mm.
something that is like not about my like biology and how
Mm-hmm.
I look like just because of something I didn't choose, but like
Mm-hmm.
that's something about like my sense of style and my sense of
Yeah.
fashion. And also like most of my clothes are thrifted. So I also
Yeah.
feel cool and excited about that. So yeah, just in little things that, I had to get dressed this morning. I didn't have to put earrings on, but like, it's like part of my
Mm-hmm.
process. So like I'll like catching all those little moments of opportunity where something
Mm-hmm.
random or not that special can
Mm-hmm.
feel special and can feel like
Yeah.
extra love.
Absolutely. No, and I like what you're saying about jewelry and stuff too, because I enjoy jewelry, but I'm so fucking picky
Mm.
that like it takes so much for me to be like, oh yes, I'm going to buy this piece and I'm going to wear this piece.
Yeah.
And I've been wanting like more bracelets, but bracelets are like a whole sensory thing for me and
Yeah.
whatever. And like I want a very specific look and stuff. And so I was like, you know what? I'm just gonna like make my own. So I went to Michael's and I spent time and money and I got a bunch of, I made this.
That's so pretty.
Thank you. It's a chakra. So
Aw.
like every stone is aligned with a different chakra. So we have root is tiger's eye, sunstone for both the sacral and the solar plexus, unakite for the heart chakra, and they're all aligned with like the colors that go with them. Throat chakra and third eye are sodalite, and then I have amethyst for the crown chakra. And I was like,
so cool.
it took a lot of time and it took a lot of like planning, and I felt like because I had to get a bunch of beads. There was a sale, but I still was like, man, I'm spending a good amount of cash on just this. But I'm like, it's something that like I want for myself, and it's gonna make me feel good and connected and proud and like so embodied. And I'm like, that's worth it. Like those are the feelings that I'm looking for. Like that's what is worth it.
Yes.
Even just in like, I forget what inspired me, but I'm like, I want to choose. Oh, I saw a TikTok that was like, just pick like your top three values, and then just work on embodying those every single day. And that's so fucking hard. But
yeah. Like melted into the couch.
you're just like, I can't. I will share what I chose because I was reminded of it listening to our last episode, but I chose I am hot, I am kind, I am creative.
Oh.
Because those embody so many things. Like,
yeah.
you know, and just like getting,
I
like
love
looking
that.
in the mirror and like repeating that to myself in the morning. It really just grounds me back into like who I am. And that's the thing is like, at the core of it, I really do love who I am. Like, I really
Yes.
do love me. I think we all deserve to love ourselves,
Yes.
like, deeply. Like, you deserve to like not just who it is that you see when you look in the mirror, because our body is just kind of a vessel for like the soul and spirit that we are embodying and like sharing with everyone all the time. It's like, you deserve to love and celebrate exactly who you are.
Yes.
Even those little parts of you. I saw another interesting TikTok today where this woman was like, I intentionally practice hedonism. Like hedonism being like pleasure and like indulgence in a way. And she's like, I have a very intentional relationship with it because I find pleasure to be something that makes me feel so alive. And she's like, I find pleasure in like being so meticulous about making my bed in the morning because it makes me like feel, oh, like it's so luxurious and beautiful. And like I get to get into that at the end of the night, like finding those little things where we're able to like celebrate and like build that like loving relationship with ourselves.
Exactly.
So we just feel good in our own skin. We deserve that, goddammit.
We do. I know.
That was such a long rant, but
no, that was so important. And so a part of me wants to be like, okay, and that's it, mic drop, we're done. And also, it would not be Girls Gone Real episode if we also get so specific on like the systemic barriers that exist to practice self-care and self-love. And there's like some very real and specifics. Like there's time constraints. There's research that, and okay, so I read this, but I'm like, I think it's even less than that because there's a research study that said that the average working American has about 2.5 hours of leisure time a day. I think that's too generous. I think we have probably less.
Because I'm thinking like you're working 9 to 5. Let's say it takes you 30 minutes, and that's being gentle about how long it would take you to get to and from work.
Right.
Let's say an hour even. So 2 hours in traffic. That's like 8 to 6. You got to sleep 8 hours at least. And then there's all of the getting ready. There's all of the maintenance things that we need to do every day. 2 hours.
Yeah, it's probably way less time. And that's where it starts getting like the access of self-care practices are different for different people. Like
100%.
You know,
I want to acknowledge that as well because I'm talking about a lot of things I've been doing for myself lately, and that is being free from the 9 to 5 job.
Exactly.
Right? I am working a lot less. I'm very, very fortunate and privileged right now to be able to have all of that time. That is, and that was the biggest thing. When I was in a 9 to 5, I was so fucking depressed. I was crying to my therapist every single week, being like, I don't have time to do the dishes and make food and keep myself alive while also pursuing my passions and my hobbies and also working this fucking job.
Right.
It's
but then there's people that like have that 9 to 5, or have that 9 to 5 and then have to go to another job,
Uh-huh.
or have to care for little humans,
Oh
or
my
have to,
God.
like, there's so much, which
Yeah.
that's like another of the systemic barriers of self-care. And
Yep.
it's that, especially for women, the caretaking burden is a lot more heavily on us.
100%.
So that's where, again, like
Yeah.
that mental load, all those tasks that we need to do.
Mm-hmm.
There's also the piece of like financial access to self-care.
Yeah.
Like right now I'm paying for a very pricey membership to a studio because I was like, I really, this month particularly, as I'm going through so many life transitions,
Yeah.
I need to invest that money in my physical self-care and my spiritual self-care and creating community. And that was an investment that I feel so privileged of being able to make, because I know that me a year ago was not able to afford that, or to like give myself that space with the time. Like, so it's just so nuanced, especially when self-care is so commodified to what we were naming earlier. And like the self-care industry is something like billions of dollars, you know? So when you have a system that tells you like the way to practice self-care is to buy this product, is to go to this class, is to go on a yoga retreat, is to do this and this and that, and if not, you're not practicing wellness properly, that like that fucks with your head. Like, that's not helpful, and it's so reductive and dismissive of the realities that most people have.
Yeah. And that's why I think the self-love piece is perhaps even more important than the actual self-care piece.
Yeah.
Because we have to have that inner sense of worthiness and love with ourselves and forgiveness and grace, so that like in those moments when we are faced with so many systemic fucking barriers that make it impossible to like get the shower that we need that night, that we can sit with ourselves and we can have a little cry about it, and then we can do whatever it is that we need to remind ourselves that like, I am worthy, I am okay, I'm going to take care of myself in this way and show up in this way that I absolutely can, and the ways that I can't, I'm going to forgive myself for, because they really want us to be feeling like we suck and it's our fault, when at the end of the day, most of the things that we struggle with are things that have been taught to us or imposed on us.
Right.
Like, it's all part of being part of the oppressive system of white supremacy and capitalism.
Yeah.
It is. Yes.
Fun stuff.
9 to 5 is another form of prison. Okay? They're just trying to keep us locked down.
Yeah.
And controlled. Okay?
Yeah.
So even though we have to exist within these systems and we have to make a living and make money, at the end of the day, I'm going to go a little deep on this. At the end of the day, the shit you're doing at your 9 to 5 doesn't matter nearly as much as what you're doing outside of it.
Yeah.
And I stand by that.
Yeah.
And if that means like taking a step back from like our emotional and mental investment in what we're doing in our work, I think that is so necessary and worth it sometimes, just to like show up for ourselves in a way that matters.
Totally.
Yeah, because you're worth it.
Yeah.
You're worth it.
You are so worth it.
Yeah. Take care of yourself so that you don't murder grandpas.
That's so real.
I'm sorry, but it is. I'm like,
yeah. That's like hangriness times 1,000 million.
That's beyond hangry. Oh my goodness.
No, that's something else.
But yeah, no, even like in this, I think sometimes with systemic barriers too, we forget that we can ask for help. Yeah. And the asking for help is another form of self-love, like reminding yourself that you don't have to do it alone. Yeah. You actually cannot do it alone. It is only very recently in the history of humans that we have been living separately from our families and communities, and that we've had to do all of these things by ourselves. Like, that is not, I don't believe that is how humans are meant to live. I think we are meant to be so much closer in community and like being able to take care of the little things around the house every day. But since that is not at the moment the reality that we have access to, finding other ways to make that happen, asking for help when you need it as an experiment, even if you don't need it. Like we were talking about a little while ago, like, can you get me soap? I'm like, yeah, I can get you soap, like I'm in the store now. Like, asking for help, letting yourself have some grace. You don't have to do everything.
Yeah. No, totally.
Big heavy sigh.
Totally. So yeah, I'm gonna leave, I think, with a thought of, because I'm realizing also how, like, I mean, I'm not really, whatever. I didn't think of this just now, but self-care is community care.
Yes.
So
Yes, you
yeah,
have to take care of yourself in order to take care of your community. You are part of the community.
exactly. Yeah, and me being able to, like, ask for soap once kind of like fills up my tank of capacity and love and helping
Absolutely.
thingies magic. You know,
Helping thingies magic. I love it. That's the only thing I'm calling it from now on.
Yeah. So now I have, like, I mean, not that it works like this, but, you know, just to simplify it, I had this thought in my mind. I'm like, ooh, okay, so Hannah filled up my cup a little bit here by bringing me soap. Thank you very much. And I'm also about to, like, so I have a dear friend who's about to go through knee surgery next week. And I have it scheduled on my calendar. And I'm like, looking forward to it in a way that other versions of myself maybe could have seen as more like an inconvenience. So I have on my calendar, I'm like, I'm going to her house with ingredients to cook food for her and keep her company. And, like, even though that's care for her, I'm also, like, feeling like it's a little bit of self-care and self-love for myself and my community. So kind of like win-win-win.
Because it's upholding a value that you have chosen for yourself. It's upholding, and it's also like you are someone who your cup is filled when you spend time with other people.
Yeah.
And it's going to be in such a meaningful way. That's like, it's okay if you showing up for somebody else also fills your cup.
Right.
Okay. We
Usually
didn't pour into exactly. I wanted to be careful with that messaging only because we've been taught that that's the only thing that can fill up your cup, right?
Right.
So also giving yourself, like, love and grace. It's like, you're not a bad person if you like showing up for other people. Like, it's all part of it. You just have to also be showing up for yourself. It has to be in balance. Everything is good in balance.
Balance. Yep.
I love it. Rainbow Man.
Yeah.
A good one, friend.
A good one, as always.
As always.
Especially because we had a special appearance
the whole time
of our podcast mascot.
I'm now risking a pet because I didn't want to disturb him the whole time. But now I'm like, all right,
touch him now.
We can touch the kitty. Well, never mind. I was gonna throw some shade at Spotify, and I'll just let that sit for now. But hopefully, you're watching this on YouTube where you can see us being cute and fun, and you can see Doug.
Baby.
Our mascot baby who's here the whole time.
Little baby Doug. Yeah, I did. Shout out to my dad who listened to a full episode of ours, even though he's not our audience. And he was like, oh yeah, I know that I'm not like your target audience, but I watched. It was good.
See?
Flying reviews.
Love it.
And the feedback was, I think we need more cat.
We do need more cat.
So we are delivering, people. We listen.
We listen to feedback.
We listen to
Send us your feedback.
We grow, and then we force a cat to be here for you. This is all for you and for my dad.
This is all for you.
Then
I'm crying.
So alrighty, let's wrap it up with our invitation to stay real.
Stay real, friends.
And to give yourself a hug.
Give yourself a hug. Give yourself a little hug. Stay real with yourself. And we'll see you soon.
Bye.
Bye.